Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about something that is really interesting. If you play RCQs, you're going to be a little bit excited to know that there's a new RCQ promo, and then you're going to be very unexcited to know that the participation promo is Shoot the Sheriff. That's not the issue. The issue is that the participation promo sees more play than the RCQ promo that you get when you top 8 and or win. Laughing Jasper Flint is a crazy card. Let me see if I can open it. It's a new tab. So this is a card that is really good in Brawl. I'm just going to take a drink of water and we'll break it down. Now, 3 mana for a 4/3. Creatures you control but don't own are mercenaries in addition to their other types. So if you active treason, or somehow you get to steal cards off your opponent's top of their library or a card from their graveyard, they get menace. Or they become mercenaries. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile top X cards of target opponent's library, where X is the number of outlaws you control. This by itself is an outlaw, so at upkeep you'll exile at least one. And then until end of turn, you may cast spells from among those cards, and mana of any type may be spent to cast those spells. So basically, this is your Gonti every single turn. It only hits one card, but if you have more outlaws, it's a build around, right? Seems like a really cool commander. Brawl, I've heard, is really good. However, looking at it from a competitive perspective, you're going to be playing a competitive 60-card format to quote-unquote win this. And I think personally, I don't really mind because it's not a goblin, right? Most RCQ promos are very indifferent to me. However, I will say that, like, if we compare it to, like, the RCQ promos of the past, it used to be that you would, like, actually earn something of value. You could potentially trade it in. Like, we got a really special art, Fauna Shaman, right? And, like, Fauna Shaman's not only a commander card, but, like, sometimes can be played depending on, like, standard and stuff. And so it's just really interesting to see them try to incentivize us to go to these RCQs with such a low value card, right? This is a card that's only played in like casual formats, and they're offering it to us not as the participation promo, but as the top 8 and the winning promo. One of those things where you're trying to get people into the door and trying to get them to sit down. They're going to be paying 25 to 35, sometimes $40 to play in an RCQ. And you want if you're Wizards, you're trying to incentivize these people to go to these LGSs, and the promos are one of the best ways to do that, right? Like, win or lose, you still get something, right? You may not qualify for the RC, you may not get to the place that you want to be, but you have the opportunity to play for something. And just the fact that the participation promo sees so much more play than the actual promo, it's kind of sad. It's one of those situations where you're really hoping that Wizards doesn't set you up to fail. And if you're an owner of an LGS, you feel like they're setting you up to fail. You're looking at these and you're like, okay, well, Shoot the Sheriff is kind of okay. The main thing it doesn't kill is like Slick Shot, right? It kills a lot of other stuff. So it's a decent card. It can see some play. Shoot the Sheriff has been a card in Dimir for a while. And it's the backup removal spell besides like Nowhere to Run or Go for the Throat. Like, it's a one of Shoot the Sheriff after your third or fourth Go for the Throat. Laughing Jasper Flint, I haven't seen any play. It makes me feel like they're really trying to push with lizards or outlaws, but I don't think either one of those archetypes is supported enough to make them as powerful as mice. Now, if there was some overlap where like some of the mice were also outlaws, right, then it would be good. Maybe they're trying to tell us that the lizards deck is like the best counter to the mice deck. Maybe the lizards has a good matchup versus mice and nobody knows it yet. But honestly, I couldn't see it. I think that overall, there's such a huge power difference between mice and lizards that to give us a promo like this is almost like an insult, right? Really good for the casual players to buy it on the second market, but like, what value does it hold? What incentive does it give us in order to go to these RCQs and try our best? Like, what? Like, yeah, you're trying to win not for the promo, right? But like, you get to the RCQ top 8, you top 8, and you're like, okay, I lost in the quarterfinals, but I got, oh yeah, you remember you got a laughing Jasper Flint. And you see it laughing. It's laughing at you. Wizards through this card is laughing at you. And it just like adds insult to injury. It's kind of insane. Maybe Lizards should be built as like more of an Outlaws deck that's meant to be scaled back and a controlling deck, and then you crush them in the late game. But Mice just is so much better. somebody told me that they would have loved to see Manifold Mouse as the promo. Can you imagine if Manifold Mouse was the RCQ promo? Like, you actually get a card that's played if you place, right? Um, the other one people were recommending was Screaming Nemesis. You make Screaming Nemesis your RCQ promo, everybody shows up to your RCQ, right? Screaming Nemesis is amazing in all formats, like not the older ones that are Eternal 60 card, but you get what I'm saying, right? The card is good. It's a 3-drop. It does so much more than Laughing Jasper Flint, and it doesn't make people feel like they're being insulted or demeaned by their choice of promo. Who's choosing this promo? What brawl player is choosing Laughing Jasper Flint as their cool RCQ promo? Thank you, Jared. Appreciate you dropping in. Sorry, I'm going off. It's kind of insane to watch, right? Like, it used to be that we would get really good FNM promos. Like, I remember when they gave us fatal pushes for FNM promos, and then like FNM promos cycled out and we got tokens. And back then, RCQ promos were like gold, right? Like, there were just so many good ones because they were not only giving us free cards at the FNMs, but they were also giving us free cards at the RCQs. And it felt like the card quality was higher. They didn't give us crap. And I don't want to say this is bad, but this is bad. Wizards, don't do this to us. It kind of feels insulting. So that's my piece on the Laughing Jasper Flint thing. And yeah, I think that RCQ promos should be a little bit more boom, a little bit more high impact, right? You see something and you're like, oh, I want to go play, even if it's some people play RCQs just for the promos. I know people who just play for the promos. They don't want to go to the RCs. They just want to get the promos because they look cool and they can sell them, right? No one's gonna buy the Laughing Jasper Flint. Everyone's gonna sell them. The price is gonna go nowhere because it's already worthless, and people are just gonna feel laughed at. Honestly, that's not where you want to be. So, really appreciate you watching.